legacy as a compassionate educator, freedom fighter, and reformer continues to inspire teacher educators and institution alike. His principles remain a guiding light for competency-driven education, ensuring that teachers are prepared not just to teach but to transform life. He is very great visionary leader, and I am very fortunate. So I am presenting his memorial lecture. So thank you for giving me opportunity. Thank you so much.
Following Dr. Kisei, we have the Dr. Devraj Beach Memorial Lecture. Dr. B.R. Sharma, former principal of Punjabi College of Education, Maharashtra, a life member of CTEF, will be speaking on the timely and relevant theme of development reflecting NEP 2020. Dr. Sharma, the stage is yours.
Good noon to everybody. I am standing for lecture to memorial of Dr. Devraj Beach. Dr. Devraj Beach, born in Pakistan, Dr. Devraj Beach born on 20th February 1926 at Oral district, Sialkot, now in Pakistan. After partition, his family migrated to India, but during migration, most of them lost their lives. His education is He got his early education at Khalsa College, Amritsar, did MA Psychology, BT, MA from Aligarh Muslim University, PhD education from Sardar Patel University, Gujarat. His career, he served as a professor of education and psychology at Dharamsala, Himachal Pradesh and Patiala, Punjab. Served as principal Government College of Education, Patiala, Jalandhar. Worked as Dean, College Development Council, Punjab University, Patiala. His professional achievement is participated in several national and international conferences in India and Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand. Delivered keynote addresses in many national and international conferences and seminars. His contribution in education worked differently in the capacity of National President of Council for Teacher Education. Now the name of the Council for Teacher Education is the Council for Teacher Education Federation from 2009 to 2016. During his tenure, many national and international conference chapters of CTE were opened. Worked for CTE selflessly with full dedication. His publication is very renowned. Devraj Git was prolific reader and writer, published several books and research papers. In his popular publications are as follows: Guide to Experimental Psychology, Problem Children, Towards Better Teaching, नजराना, पैगाम ए जिंदगी, शिक्षा के सूत्र. His honors and awards is Balraj Sani Award 1992, Dedicated Teacher Award at the hands of the Governor of Punjab, Lifetime Achievement Award of the NCT 1993. His personal quality is Devraj was a man of vision, compassion, and impact. He was a mismeasuring orator with great sense of humor. He was a creative, inspiring leader. He was a passionate traveler. He was a man of resilience. He lost his family member during migration from Pakistan to India, but in spite of his faced the challenges of life with the great courage. His personal quality is Dr. Beach always helped needy people. He was extremely optimistic. He was a great supporter of man-making education, worked with full dedication for human rights, which as initiated by Dr. G. Chaurasia, founder president of the Council and Teacher Education. Dr. Beach was equally popular among students and teachers because he possessed all good qualities of head and hearts. Now the Dr. Uh, Beach his vision like 2009 2020 NAPs learner holistic development reflecting NAP 2020. Learner holistic means the national education policy 2020 emphasizes a holistic, multidisciplinary and learner centric approach to educator invention the shift from role learning to concept understanding, critical thinking, and practical skills that get the cognitive, emotional, social, and ethical development of students. Below is structured representation of learner holistic development as outlined in NEP 2020. Key aspect of the learners holistic development. Number one, cognitive development means intellectual growth, competency-based learning, and conceptual understanding, numeracy, problem solving, conceptual understanding, multidisciplinary approach, flexibility in subject choices, inhibiting art, science, and vocational skills. Experimental learning means project-based, inquiry-based, discussion-based learning methodologies. Last, technology integration, use of digital tools like that AI and online platform to enhance learning experiences. Emotional and psychological development, mental health, well-being, introduction, counseling, mindfulness programs, and mental wellness initiative in school. Reduce academic pressure, exam to be redesigned, classes application based knowledge rather than the memorization. Student choice and flexibility, personalized learning path. Following student to explore the interest and strengths. Number one, social and ethical development. It is very must. Social and ethical development is a must. Value-based education emphasis on ethics, empathy, tolerance, and social responsibility. Community engagement, encouraging service, learning, social work, and participation in local governance initiative. Global citizenship, exposure to diverse culture, languages, and international collaboration. Physical and creative development. Sports and physical integration of yoga, physical training, and sports activities into the curriculum. Art and culture, equal importance to music, dance, drama, visual arts of the fostering creativity and curriculum. Arts and culture, equal importance to music, dance, drama, visual arts of the fostering is necessary. Vocational training, early exposure to skills like coding, carpentry, gardening, entrepreneurship. Social and spiritual development, education on moral values, incorporation of ethics, environmental consciousness, sustainability of curriculum, Indian knowledge system, promotion of indigenous, traditional languages and heritage learning, tradition, mindfulness, meditation and mindfulness, practice and meditation, self-reflection to develop inner discipline and resilience. Now the NP domains, there is a near about five or six domains I put up. That is cognitive, concept-based learning, 21st century skills experimental activity. Second, emotional. Third, social and ethical. Fourth, physical and creative. Ethical and spiritual domains and key initiative under the 2020. Implementation, strategies, school higher education, pedagogy, Revise the pedagogy. Second, multidisciplinary curriculum. Integration of technology. Teacher training development. Internship and skill training. This is the main factor of the NEP 2020. Enhancement of NEP 2020. Holistic and multidisciplinary education. Flexible subject choices. Integration of vocational education like entrepreneurship and practical training. Focus on foundation literacy and numeracy. This is the main. What is the advantage and disadvantage of the NAP? The National Education Policy 2002 is transformative, proclaimed the restructuring India's education system to make it holistic, flexible, multidisciplinary, and skill-based. While it is introductory progressive reform, it also faces several challenges. Implementation below is the detailed analysis of its advantages and disadvantages. Strengthening the higher education. Strengthening higher education, introduction of 4-year UG degree course. Second, single regulatory body of higher education. And third, autonomy to college and universities. This is the main strengthening higher education. In 2020 is Vidyaneer reform that has the potential and revolutionize its implication, making it skill oriented, flexible and inclusive. However, depend on effective implementation, overcoming infrastructure and disadvantages, and ensuring equitable access to resources. If properly execute 2020 can bridge the gap between traditional education and 21st century education, preparing students for a globally competitive future. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. And you give me opportunity to deliver memorial lecture. I thank to everybody and thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. Our next memorial lecture is the Dr. J.P. Naik Memorial Lecture. We are honored to have Professor
To speak on the work of a person who got Padma Bhushan from Government of India the great educator from Pune, Maharashtra, and he is none other than Jay Pandurang Naik. Government of India also issued postal stamp in his name. JP Naik is better known as an epitome of human values. He was born on 5th of September 1907, and that is the birth date of Dr. S. Radhakrishnan also. And you will be surprised to know that it was suggestion of J.P. Naik to celebrate Teachers' Day on 5th of September every year in the memory of to celebrate the birth date of Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, a great thinker, philosopher, and politician. He was educated in rural school because he was born in a village. Later, he married to Chitra Naik. She was a member of the Planning Commission, and she also received Padma Shri Award from the government of India. J.P. Naik actively participated in civil disobedience movement started by Mahatma Gandhi. He was a freedom fighter and became underground in order to hide his identity. He also changed his name. Actually, his name was Vittal Godke. Identity from the British government. But even then, he was arrested and sentenced 2 years rigorous punishment, imprisonment, and was kept in Bellary jail of Karnataka. During imprisonment, he requested jail authorities to allow him for all program in Betigiri and Karadikuda villages in Karnataka. He performed minor surgeries and became godman for the villagers. He became famous as a barefoot doctor. So look at the variety of various dimension of this gentleman. J.P. Naik started Balwadis in 30 villages and started night classes and adult education program for illiterates. Basically, to start adult education was the idea of J.P. Naik. He also constructed buildings for schools, rural hospitals, and hostels for poor and backward class students. He also started Janata colleges for poor people, poor students, social reform institutions, agriculture and industry institutions, then drama groups, then Indian Institute of Education at Bombay in 1948. This is actually very famous institution, Indian Institute of Education. Then he also established Mauni Vidyapit, that is Mauni University. It was named after Saint Mauni at Garguti near Kolhapur in 1952. He was Chief Executive Officer in ICSSR. Then he was member of the NCERT, chairperson of the Indian Institute of Education, then member secretary of the National Education Commission, that is Kothari Commission, and the very sentence, the key sentence that the destiny of India is being shaped in a classroom was in fact coined by none other than J.P. Naik. He was educational advisor to Government of India, and he was also UNESCO consultant for universalization of elementary education in India, in Asia actually. Then history of modern Indian education. Some of his books and texts and reports. History of modern Indian education. Then educational planning in India. Then elementary education in India. The unfinished business. It is still unfinished. And alternative system of healthcare in India. He also started. Some prospects in non-formal education. The Education Commission and after. These are his publications. 100 Thinkers of the World, a publication of UNESCO in 1997, includes only 3 thinkers from India. Number 1, Rabindranath Tagore. Number 2, Mahatma Gandhi. Number 3, J.P. Naik. He was honored with Padma Bhushan in 1974 by the government of India. J.P. Naik was follower of Mahatma Gandhi. He adopted and followed the principle of simple living and high thinking. He was polymath and encyclopedic reader, open-hearted, enthusiastic, and great supporter and follower of secularism and democratic values and principles. He rendered and dedicated selfless services to the nation and humanity. He used to draw token salary of rupees 1 during the entire tenure of various prestigious positions. So look at his selflessness. His monthly salary was rupees 1 during government service. He was great promoter of the value dignity for labor. He himself worked as labor. He himself worked as mason for construction of buildings at Mauni Vidyapith. His integrity was very high. He loved students and people at large and worked tirelessly for betterment of the people. J.P. Naik was thus a noble servant of humanity and an epitome of human values. Please go to the next presentation. That is on concept of education in IKS, that is Indian Knowledge System. And this logo is very much there. Please show the logo. And we know that logo of NCERT bears a sentence, Vidyamrita Snute. Knowledge makes man immortal. The concept of education in IKS. What is education in IKS? Education in IKS comprises of 3 things. Number 1, Jnana, that is knowledge. Vijnana, that is science. and Jivan Darshan, that is philosophy of life. And what are the contents of Jnana? Jnana focuses on cognitive events which are recognized and experienced. The second word is very important. Not only recognized, but experienced. Jnana is inseparable from the total experience of real life. Then Jnana illuminates the world. We know the quality of light. Light itself is invisible, but it makes the things visible. That is applicable to Jnana also. Jnana is invisible, but it illuminates the world. Jnana is a mental event, so that is very important. Jnana may be true or false. Jnana is not belief, but lead to formation of belief. This is from Nyaya Shastra. Knowledge is that entity which leads to liberation, that is moksha. Knowledge is formless and invisible, but it illuminates the world. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. O Lord, lead us from darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge. Sources of knowledge. Knowledge through five senses. We know the five senses. In fact, there are seven senses. Five senses through five sense organs. Six senses common sense, which is not so common, and seven sense is nonsense, which is very common. Do you agree with me? Then knowledge through authority. That means knowledge which is there in text and books. Knowledge from teachers. Then knowledge through experience, learning by doing. Knowledge through insight. This is somewhat missing in our today's education system. There is little scope for insight, but that is a great source of knowledge because we can develop creative thinking, critical thinking because of insight. Colin's theory of insight we have studied. Then knowledge through intuition. This source of knowledge is available to very few people, like Hazrat Muhammad Sahab, Gautam Buddha, Mahavir Jain, Krishna, Rama, etc. Then Vijnana, it is science. Vijnana is the root of true knowledge. So you can imagine the insight of those people. Vijnana is the root of true knowledge. Why? Because it was based on experience and experimentation. It is always based on evidences. This is Bhagavad Gita. Then Vijnana is systematic and perfect knowledge that we know. Vijnana means it is insight actually, and this is according to Ayurveda. Vijnana is systematic and perfect knowledge. It is means of insight. This is recorded in Ayurveda. Concept of education in IKS, you know, we are studying that. Jivan Darshan, third component. First one was Jnana, second one was Vijnana, and third one is concept of education. Third one is Jivan Darshan, the way of life. Very important, and we are supposed to study life skills. up to micro level. Though WHO has identified only 10 life skills, but there are hundreds and hundreds of life skills which are needed to us. Jivan Darshan, it refers to the holistic philosophy and approach to living that is deeply rooted in Indian traditions and culture. Of immense importance. It encompasses various principles and practices that guide individuals in leading a purposeful and balanced life. Life should be purposeful and balanced as well. Then self-realization. That is actually the ultimate aim of Indian education system. Self-realization. And if self-realization is there, there is nothing to gain more. The ultimate aim of education is self-realization, which makes the student to understand that what type of understanding we are supposed to create among students. I am not an individual. I represent my motherland. I am not narrow. I am immense. Some was symbols in thoughts expressed in Gita. I am the image of Supreme Soul. I am an agent of truth, non-violence, and good conduct. I am a living embodiment of my motherland. Look at the love for motherland. I am the fortune maker of myself, my people, and my motherland. Key pillars of education in IKS, that is philosophy and metaphysics. Metaphysics is beyond physics, and philosophy, you know. Science and mathematics, arts and culture, then social sciences, as far as science is concerned. In the entire history of Indian education, C.V. Raman is the only person who could get Nobel Prize in 1930. And we should remember that he was never a student of, after independence, he was a student of British system of education. He received Nobel Prize in 1930. Then think of others. Nobel Prize in Literature, Rabindranath Tagore. He didn't went to any school or college for that matter. Nobel Prize to Kailash Satyarthi, Mother Teresa, Nobel Prize for Peace. Education has nothing to do with Nobel Prize in Peace. It was their own quality and work which earned them the Nobel Prize. So we cannot claim that because of our education system, they got Nobel Prize. And three other persons, Abhijit Banerjee, Hargobind Khurana, and Amartya Sen, they got their Nobel Prize for working in America. So we have to think over very seriously why this is happening. For the last 77 years, we couldn't produce any student, any researcher who could earn Nobel Prize. We have to think very seriously. I am also the culprit of that. I cannot escape myself. So very seriously. Uh, I am very much thankful for patient listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bandaka. The Dr. K. Shivadasan Pillai Memorial Lecture will be delivered by Dr. K. Shivarajan, former Dean, Faculty of Education, University of Calicut. Dr. Shivarajan will address the emerging challenges of teacher education, a topic of crucial importance in today's educational landscape. Sir, please.
A warm good afternoon to all of you. Dr. K. Shivadasan Pillai was not only my teacher, but also my research guide, my philosopher, my motivator, my scaffolder, my mentor, and my motivator. The tall figure, smiling face, and pleasing manners of Dr. Pillai are still fresh in my mind. The present memorial lecture is a token of my love, affection, and a tribute to him. Dr. Pillai was instrumental in starting the Council for Teacher Education Foundation in Kerala. Here the topic assigned to me for delivering Dr. Pillai memorial talk is emerging changes of teacher education. So instead of highlighting the life and mission of Dr. Pillai, I would like to concentrate on the burning topic of the current education system. The quality of a nation depends upon the quality of its citizens. The quality of the citizens depends upon the quality of their education. The quality of education depends upon the quality of teachers. And the quality of teachers is purely dependent upon the quality of teacher education. Here lies the importance of teacher education in the education system. Teacher education has been an academic program requiring serious updating. The National Education Policy 2020 has suggested a complete revamping of the teacher education system in the country. It proposes to shift all teacher education institutions towards a multidisciplinary environment. All standalone educational institutions will be closed down and the teacher education program will be transformed into a 4-year integrated teacher education program, that means ITEP. By 2030, the present 2-year teacher education program will be stopped and 4-year programs after secondary schooling will be the pattern of teacher education in India. As the first stage of implementing ITEP, the central universities and centrally funded institutions, including IITs and NITs, have already started integrated teacher education program in India. As such, NIT Calicut, Central University of Kerala, Kasaragod, and Central University of Sanskrit, Guruvayur, have started implementing 4-year integrated teacher education program in Kerala. Kerala State Higher Education Council has constituted ITEP Curriculum Committee with Professor Mohan B. Menon as chairman to suggest ways and means to design teacher education program in alignment with the 4-year undergraduate program curriculum, as well as according to the mandate of National Council for Teacher Education. As you know, NCT is the statutory body of the government of India to maintain the quality and standard of teacher education in the country. At present, teacher education programs in Kerala include 2-year pre-primary and 2-year DLED course, 2-year B.Ed program, and 2-year M.Ed programs. The NCT has initiated steps to implement ITEP with the new structure of school education, that is 5+3+3+4, which includes foundational stage, preparatory stage, middle stage, and the secondary stage. However, the new structure has not been implemented in Kerala. Kerala still follows primary, upper primary, secondary, and higher secondary stages. This suggestion given by the new education policy has not yet started implementing in Kerala. Here the crucial issue, there are 188 higher secondary teacher education institutions comprising 4 government colleges, 17 aided colleges, 36 university teacher education centers, and 131 self-financing B.Ed colleges, and 201 DLED institutions, which includes 37 government institutions, 64 aided DLED institutions, and 100 self-financing DLED institutions in Kerala. Most of them are standalone institutions. NCT considers only multidisciplinary higher education institutions for starting integrated teacher education program. Our arts and science colleges need to start an education department with 9 teaching staff in order to implement integrated teacher education program, and hence most of the arts and science colleges are not willing to start such a department in their institutions. Now, the ITEP Curriculum Committee of the Higher Education Council, they have put forwarded some suggestions. They have put forth some suggestions before the government of Kerala. They suggested a training arrangement between standalone teacher education institutions and multidisciplinary higher education institutions affiliated with the same university, and a training arrangement with standalone teacher education institutions and multidisciplinary higher education institutions under the same management. They also suggested regional institute of education model be extended to teacher education institutions in Kerala. The ITEP Curriculum Committee, they have submitted its report to Government of Kerala on 16th of November 2024. This is a new challenge faced by the teacher education colleges and teacher education. Teacher education colleges means, as I said earlier, the challenges faced by 188 teacher education colleges and 201 teacher education institutions in the implementation of teacher education program in Kerala. Thank you very much. Thank you all. I am happy to inform you that the chairman of the ITEP Curriculum Committee is Professor Mohan B. Menon. He is also present among the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shivarajan.
Yes, yes. What do you want?
Thank you, Dr. Shivarajan. Our final memorial lecture in the series is the Dr. N.P. Pillai Memorial Lecture. Dr. G. Vatsala, former principal, IASC Thrissur, Kerala, and Vice Chairperson, CTEF Kerala, will be speaking on transforming teacher education, innovations by Professor Dr. N.P. Pillai. Dr. Vatsala, we welcome you.
So, good afternoon, one and all. Dignitaries, delegates, and dear friends. So, the topic is Transforming Teacher Education, Innovations by Dr. N.P. Pillai. So, let us see how a teacher education of the 21st century is transformed by a genius of the 20th century. So, this is a time to remember Dr. N.P. Pillai, Narayanan Parameswaran Pillai, a master pedagogue of the 20th century. The fact is that I never had the privilege of being a student of this professor, and so also I have ever got an opportunity to see him also. But I have heard a lot about this teacher educator, about the strength of this teacher educator from his students, like Dr. C.P. Sriyandan Nair, who is late, and Dr. Sharachandra Raj, and so also our Dr. V. Jaku, sir, is here present here. And in the morning session, we have a veteran professor of 93, that is Dr. P. Madhavan Nair, who was the principal of SN Training College, Nedunganda, and he was the student of Dr. N.P. Pillai. I think the two of them were of the same age sometimes at that time. And that Madhavan Nair sir is the father of Dr. Suni Kumari, who had received the memento in the Best Teacher Educator Award in the morning session. And he is there here in the morning session also. And Dr. N.P. Pillai from 1912 to 1984 was a teacher educator, a researcher, and an interdisciplinary scholar for nearly 5 decades. Born at Iraniel in the erstwhile Travancore, at that time that place was in Travancore, now in the Kanyakumari district of Tamil Nadu. He had his higher education, BA Honours, from Madras University with a distinction and secured a gold medal. He had his LT degree, that is equivalent to BA degree, from Travancore University, and PhD in education from Birmingham University, UK. He was awarded the prestigious George Cadbury Award Prize, George Cadbury Prize of the Birmingham University for his PhD thesis on educational ideas of Mahatma Gandhi. He had secured additional qualifications like diploma in methods of historical research, educational psychology, vocational guidance, educational measurement, etc. And he had opportunities to associate with the universities of Chicago, Harvard, Princeton, Stanford, etc. And from 1968 to 1972, he served as UNESCO specialist as teacher education in the University of Philippines. He started his career in our state as a teacher, as a secondary school teacher in the SME school, in the famous SME school, Toronto. After acquiring higher qualifications, he was promoted as lecturer in history in the Government Training College, Toronto. When the Department of Education was established in 1959, so the Department of Education was established in 1959 in the University of Kerala, he was appointed as the head of the department and also the first dean of the Faculty of Education. Thus, Dr. N.B. Pillai became a very influential person in the University of Kerala as a pioneer of teacher education, holding positions of HOD, dean, and also syndicate member. Within a short span of about 8 years after its establishment, he developed the department to a level where it was recognized as one of the best university departments of education in the country. Dr. Pillai trained a group of expert teachers and researchers who gave leadership in different areas of teacher education, that is psychometry, that is Dr. S. Umaran Nair Service Specialist. He is also no more. Then educational psychology, mathematics education, science education, adult and continuing education, and a number of other critical areas in the field. He started the important educational journal, Studies in Education, and founded the Forum for Educational Research and Training Kerala. With the help of the research students and professional associates, he conceived the M.Ed degree as a serious research program. Some of the thesis for the M.Ed degree was treated as equivalent to the PhD degree research. This proves the importance he gave to research. The first PhD in education in the University of Kerala was obtained through Dr. Pillai's guidance by Dr. Mohan Matthew, who held the senior academic position in USA. Now he is also known. Before Dr. N.B. Pillai, education had not become a subject of serious study and research in Indian universities. During his tenure, Dr. Pillai had succeeded in getting education accepted as an important field of study in the country. Most of the universities had full-fledged postgraduate and doctoral programs in education by the end of 1960s. Dr. Pillai was also able to attract the best students from all over the world in the department. He invited Dr. Stephen Corey, who had then came to India with his new concept relating to action research. Dr. Pillai was accepted as one of the top experts in education in the country during the period. He was instrumental in organizing many national conferences and seminars and served in many national committees of the UGC, NCERT, etc. He actively participated in the international forum convened by the UNESCO at Afghanistan, Burma, Indonesia, Nepal, China, Singapore, Sri Lanka, etc. During his time, he was a much sought after educationist at both national and international levels. Dr. Pillai served as the Vice Chairman of Paris Sevak Samaj, that is BSS, Chairman of Child Welfare Council Center for Educational Research, Innovations and Development, member of the Presidium of Stanford, and Director of State Resource and Project. Dr. Pillai could be described as the father of educational research in India. He gave a new shape and direction to educational research. He has produced more than a dozen PhDs covering different areas of education. He authored a number of books on education, both English and Malayalam. Dr. Pillai was active in the Indian Association of Teacher Education, All India Federation of Education Association, World Confederation of Teacher Profession, International Association of Education for World Peace, and the University UGC, NCRT, etc. As a well-known Gandhian, Dr. Pillai was also associated with Kerala Gandhi Smarana Nidhi and Kerala Hindi Prajar Sabha. Dr. N.P. Pillai will be remembered by the future generations of the country as one of the stalwarts in the field of education and helped to get education accepted as an independent discipline with its own scientific foundations and empirically validated operational modalities. And you may sometimes know that T.P. Madhavan, the famous film actor, is his son. And Dr. Pillai's pleasing manners and stout short physique are still fresh in the minds of his students and in the minds of who happen to come to contact with him. And it may not be a strange coincidence that his historical innings came to an end on the early hours of 5th September 1984, that is the Teachers' Day. And so he died on the Teachers' Day itself, and it may be a strange coincidence. So I conclude, and let this international seminar be an opportunity to showcase the best practices prevailing in the system. And so thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it is time for discussion. All the dignitaries who have presented the memorial lecture, please be on dais. Dr. Madhuri Isave, Dr. B.R. Sharma, Dr. K.M. Bandarkar, Dr. K. Shivarajan, Dr. G. Valsila, please be on dais. I also welcome Dr. Neelima Bhagwati ma'am to participate in the open discussion.
I just got up from the seat myself because the NBA meeting will follow just now, National Board meeting. It's a central meeting, and most of the participants from all over the country, they will be online. So I'll just for 2 minutes, just to the memorial lecture presented by our just the speaker before some time. I just say nothing to say. He presented very nicely. But why during the time, I'd like to say and clarify some things. When I was the chairperson of Eastern Regional Committee, along with the other chairperson of Southern, Western, and Northern, along with the then he was Mr. Juvesh Singh, professor from the Delhi University. He was a chairperson, and some more were there. So we had series of discussions before the implementation of, ITEF, Integrated Teacher Course, 4 year course. Now the question is, it is the flagship of the government of India. It is still in the experimental stage. We cannot say that it is going to be success or failure, because very often I have to also sit in the review meetings. The review meetings are now gradually improving. Yes, there are lots of challenges, but challenges we can overcome. As there are challenges, there are prospects also. We have to find the ways. So in one way, like in my state, I visited almost, I think, seven of them I taught in the different universities, and they are improving now. Then the first time they had a little bit of, teething problem, as we say, but now they're improving. By 30, I think lots of improvement will come, but you will go on reviewing. In fact, it is not that the students will get the 12 degree, but what is important, they should be enlightened, from all the ways, the multidisciplinary. They will be more practical. Practical will be given more trust, right? And also, they will have, the students will carry on the assignments and everything along with the mentorship of the teachers from the different departments. So right now, we cannot say what it will be, but we have to explore the possibilities. I tell everybody that if you have any sort of finding any problem, you tell us. Let us explore together. Let us do the brainstorming and what kind of. Because when we had a meeting, not now, we had about 5 months back, we had a meeting with our Honorable Minister of Education, Dharmendra Pradhanji. So he was saying that we have to explore and show them the ways and opportunities. Because right now, we cannot say that it is going to be not successful. It will be successful, but we have to also work hard and find the ways to solve the problem. That's what I actually wanted to say. And regarding the 30, like 2030, yes, it is the deadline. It is the deadline that those which are standalone teacher education colleges, they have to get, multidisciplinary, or either they have to stop. It is not that, so no such any kind of decision has been taken in this till now. Till now, nothing like that. So from my end, just I am to tell you that let us not be very much, panic by this year, all the teachers, that let us be very much optimistic and think that the reviews, we are going to do more and more reviews, the reviews outcome will be very nice. And we'll do whatever is more, good, convenient for the teachers and the student population only. This is actually what I wanted to say.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Was there any queries from others, from NCT and all? If there is any doubt or anything, you can clarify here. Please participate in the open discussion. The stage is yours. Okay, thank you all for participating in the memorial lecture. Let us now wind this session. Thank you once again.
ക്ലോപ്പ് ചെയ്താ ഞാൻ എത്ര രാവിലെ തൊട്ട് കറക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതിൽ നോക്കി പോകുന്ന സാധനം തന്നെയായിരുന്നു.
പരിപാടി അവിടെയോ
There is an announcement. We have a general body meeting of CTEF at 4:30 p.m. It is a request to all CTEF members to participate in the meeting without any fee.
ക്യാമറ ഒക്കെ റെഡിയാ
സ്ക്രീന് പോയതിനു ശേഷം പോയപ്പോ സ്ക്രീൻ അത് വന്നുകൊണ്ട് പോയതാണ്. അത് വന്നപ്പോ പോയതാണ്. അത് വരാത്തപ്പോ ഓഡിയോ റെഡിയാണല്ലോ. ആ സ്ക്രീനിൽ വരാത്തപ്പോ റെഡി ആയിരുന്നു. ഓഡിയോ എല്ലാം റെഡി ആയിരുന്നു, നമ്മൾ ചെക്ക് ചെയ്തല്ലോ. ഇവിടെ കണക്ട് ചെയ്ത് ഇതിലേതാ ഇത് കാണിക്കണ്ടല്ലോ ഇവിടെ.
അത് ഓഡിയോന്റെ തന്നെയാണ്, പക്ഷെ അതാ മൈക്കിന്റെ ആണ് അറിയില്ല.
കഴിഞ്ഞില്ല.
അപ്പൊ
ലൈവ് കഴിഞ്ഞില്ല. 30 സ്റ്റോപ്പ് 30 സാർ
അവിടുത്തെ കഴിഞ്ഞു ചേട്ടാ.
ഇനി പേപ്പർ പ്രസന്റേഷൻ
ലൈവ് വേണ്ട, റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്താൽ മതി. സാധനം റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്താൽ ഫോട്ടോ മതി. ഫുള്ള് വേണ്ട.
Good evening, everyone. It is a panel 1 paper presentation section which is going to be held here in the main hall. The chair of the session, Dr. Sarama Chandi and Dr. Mridula K, please be on dais. Dr. Sarama Chandi and Dr. Mridula K, please be on dais. The first presenter is Fausia, and her topic is Reimagining the Education, Humanizing the Pedagogy as a Pathway to Gender Justice. Fausia P.
To ensure we have the most of our time, each panelist will have 10 minutes in total. That is, in 6 minutes, we will give a warning bell, and in 7th minute, you have to stop. And you have a 3 minutes for discussion session with the chair. I would like to repeat, the total time is 10 minutes, and on the 6th minute, we will give a warning bell, and on the 7th minute, you have to stop. And you have 3 minutes of discussion session with the chair. Thank you.
Respected chair of the session and my dear friends, a very warm good afternoon to you all.
Today,
in this paper, in this seminar, I have selected the sub-theme, Humanizing Pedagogy.